Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Now at 6, 2 car break-ins ending in 2 separate crashes. We'll let you know who Cary police have in custody.
And chase ends in Reservoir. A car is underwater in Wake Forest this morning. How deputies say it got there after someone refused to pull over for a traffic stop.
And it's here. The cooler air has arrived along with some lower humidity. I'll let you know when you may have to grab a jacket.
And school lunch changes. How federal funding cuts are forcing Wake County schools to re-examine the process for eligible students to get free lunches. Can't learn on an empty stomach. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday morning as we have a beautiful stretch of weather underway. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Levin. Good emphasis on beautiful because it has just been really nice to walk outside, not feeling like I'm going to evaporate, Elizabeth. And we have more of these fall-like temperatures that are approaching.
We do. You know, this has been a very unusual August. Our temperatures have been well below normal, and we continue that trend. It was a little warm yesterday, but temperatures have started to drop. This is a live look at Zebulon. 66 is our temperature. But the biggest thing is that dew point. The dew point's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. When it drops into the 50s this time of year, it is a real treat. So it feels super comfortable out there. It's 55 right now in terms of the temperature up in Roxborough, and upper 60s in Fayetteville and Clinton. We'll gradually see the cool air filtering down from the north, and everybody should experience it. Right now, temperatures are running around 5 to 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So it's enough to notice. And our high this afternoon could be as much as 6 or 8 degrees cooler than yesterday. Starting with some cloud cover this morning, but we'll be partly cloudy, and I'll show you how many lovely days are in our forecast. Coming up, Chris.
Oh, I'm jealous of our friends in Roxborough. 55 degrees. That feels nice. Meanwhile, I-87 at Smithfield Road, things flowing pretty smoothly out the door this morning. You can see some of that cloud cover that Elizabeth was talking about, but that is certainly not dampening our spirits this morning. I-87 heading toward the Beltline. So far, no major delays. Hope to keep it that way, but we know that'll change throughout the course of the next 2 hours. And we'll keep you updated over the next 2 hours on 101.5 HD3.
Ken Smith here, the WRAL Live Center, following some breaking news. Cary police have arrested 3 juveniles after a rash of break-ins in Cary. These have happened at 2 separate locations. Now, in pursuing these juveniles, they took off in 2 separate directions in 2 different vehicles. Now, they were able to catch one of the suspects in one crash that happened near the intersection of Salem Street and Apex Peakway. 2 juveniles were taken into custody in that crash. One sustained minor injuries, but that juvenile is said to be okay. A second set of juveniles took off in a different direction. They eventually crashed in the Crossroads Shopping Center near the Olive Garden restaurant. One juvenile was taken into custody there. Police say they're all under the age of 17, and they could face additional charges.
Ken, thanks. We have more breaking news. Right now, deputies are investigating after a crash early this morning in Durham. This is a live look from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker at Old Oxford Road, just north of Hebron Road. Deputies tell us there were no injuries and the road is open as they investigate. They are expected to release new information sometime this morning. We'll bring you any updates as soon as we learn them.
This morning, teams will return to Wake Forest Reservoir to remove a car that crashed into the water. Deputies say they tried to stop a car just before 8:30 last night, and that was near Wendell. They say that driver didn't stop. Instead, that person eventually lost control more than 10 miles away, crashing into the reservoir. The driver was taken to the hospital, and charges for the driver include eluding arrest and resisting an officer.
Durham police are investigating after a woman showed up at the hospital with a gunshot wound. Police say the woman showed up at Duke Hospital just after 11 last night. She said she had been shot at Fayetteville Street near East Piedmont Avenue. Police say she is in critical condition.
Police say that a person was killed in a head-on crash on Falls of Noose Road, and that crash happened around 9 o'clock last night. This was near Cedarhurst Drive. You can see the significant damage to that vehicle. Police say the driver who was at fault died, and the other driver is expected to recover. The southbound lane was shut down for hours overnight.
Cuts to food assistance at the federal level could impact school districts here in the Triangle. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live now at Wake School headquarters in Cary. And Kelsey, the board is considering changes to its free lunch program.
Yes, Renee, the price of your child's school lunch could be impacted by federal funding changes. So school leaders will be meeting here at the school board headquarters later today to talk about this. Now, this is all a result of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. It cuts funding for programs like Medicaid and SNAP. In North Carolina, students whose families receive SNAP benefits automatically get free and reduced lunch. 42% of Wake County students are eligible for free school meals. That's according to the Carolina Hunger Initiative at UNC. Now families may have to fill out extensive paperwork to stay eligible for free and reduced lunch. School leaders expect fewer families will complete those forms, and that means fewer students would have affordable options for school meals. All this comes after the school district just upped the price for school meals by 25 cents for this school year. We'll be sure to keep you updated on what school leaders discuss today. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
And another story that we're following this morning includes a policy that is in place in Chatham County. The school district is launching its new cell phone policy. All middle and high schools in the county will require students to lock phones and earbuds in a pouch, and teachers will unlock them at the end of the day.
Bus drivers and routes have been top of mind for Durham Public Schools as the new year begins. Speaking only on WRAL after the first day of school, Superintendent Anthony Lewis spoke about some of the challenges the district faced with bus routes on Monday.
Typically, with that increased traffic, a lot of families are during the first day decide to take their kids in the car. So obviously increased traffic in and around our schools. But for the most part, we received some emails from some families, which we encourage and definitely want to hear from them with some transportation challenges. But I will say, if we compare this year to last year, we're in a much better place.
Superintendent Lewis says parents can track school buses using the EduLog app.
And Renee, parents in Johnston County have access to that same app. It essentially allows parents to track their child's bus route in real time. And the app also sends notifications when the bus is getting close to the stop and whenever there's a change. Parents have to know their child's student ID to get that information.
The new school year is coming with changes. At Wendell Elementary School, the carpool line is going to look different. Families need to enter from Anderson Street and then turn right on Academy Street. Parents are asked to line up 30 minutes before dismissal. No parking will be allowed on the north side of the Academy, and cars can't turn onto Academy from Wendell Boulevard during carpool hours. WRAL is your back-to-school headquarters. We have you covered for the start of the new school year. Get help with back-to-school sleep schedules, packing healthy lunches, and more on WRAL.com. Search Back to School.
People at local universities are concerned as schools in America have received fake shooter reports in the last few days. The University of Arkansas is the most recent example. On Sunday, UNC Hospital went on lockdown for a false security threat. And we know that you may recall there was a deadly shooting on UNC's campus that left a faculty member dead about 2 years ago. Now, since then, the university has updated its emergency plan. That includes making alerts more clear and putting together a threat assessment unit. Former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker says the response will always be the same, regardless of whether or not that threat is real.
We just can't afford to not respond when that type of, when the swatting happens, because you really, in the initial stages of it, it's very hard to tell the difference.
Responding to all of these calls can put a strain on university resources. It's important to note that these hoaxes are not harmless pranks. They cost taxpayer resources, they can create public fear, and for the people responsible, they can lead to prison time.
Lawmakers are returning to the state capitol today for the start of a new session. However, this session will only be a short one. The legislature is on a part-time schedule for the rest of the year. Lawmakers will be in Raleigh just a couple days a month. The slowdown comes as Republican leaders have been unable to reach a deal on a new state budget. That means no raises for state workers, including teachers. They are now starting the new school year on last year's pay scale. For our coverage of today's new legislative session, go to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
North Carolina is no longer under a state of emergency. Governor Josh Stein lifted the order that was in place since Hurricane Aaron brushed our coast. The governor said the state will keep helping as teams clean up and assess the damage from the storm. In fact, Highway 12 on Ocracoke, it's back open this morning. This is the final step in clearing all of the overwash from Hurricane Aaron.
6:08 now. Flag burning crackdown. President Donald Trump wants to send people to prison if they set the American flag on fire. The potential snags this new executive order could hit.
And new affordable housing, the history behind the sight of more than a dozen new homes set to go up in Raleigh.
And the humidity has dropped. Our muggy meter is sitting at comfy this morning. I'll show you how many days it will feel like this.
And here's a look at your winning Powerball numbers: 16, 19, 34, 37, 64. The Powerball is 22 and the multiplier is 3.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
612, waking up to a little bit of cloud cover right here in our backyard. You can see the tower lit in purple for cloudy skies. But these clouds are not going to stick around all day. We should see partly cloudy skies this afternoon. When you walk out the door, you're going to notice a big drop in our temperature in most places, especially Roxborough, sitting at 55 right now. It's 66 in Durham, 69 in Fayetteville. So that cooler air hasn't quite gotten there. Goldsboro also checking in at 71. But around the triangle, our temperatures are in the mid 60s. That cooler air filtering in from the north eventually will move across our viewing area. It's going to be a gorgeous day for your lunch outside. Partly cloudy skies, mid 70s. And then after school practice will feel comfortable too. We've seen a big drop in our dew point or drop in our humidity. And so at 3 o'clock, 80 degrees, evening practices, temperatures will drop into the upper 70s pretty quickly. Chris?
Used to love days like today when I was going to drumline practice in high school. Elizabeth, thank you. Looking at the roads, everything lit in green here. There's no major slowdowns on the major routes. Good news there. This includes areas in and around the airport. We're going to continue to keep an eye on that. Everything flowing smoothly on Aviation Parkway, Glenwood Avenue, I-40 and 540. And in terms of any flight delays, not noticing anything major. A few showers across Arkansas and Oklahoma, but nothing severe with that for the time being. Whether it's the air or the roads, we've got you covered on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Chris, thank you. Breaking news, early morning car break-ins in Cary resulted in 2 separate crashes. WRAL's Laura Levine is live in Apex, where one of those crashes happened. And Laura, police were responding to the break-in call when they spotted the suspects.
Renee, we're standing at what is likely one of 3 investigations underway right now with Cary police at the intersection of North Salem Street and Apex Peakway. Behind me, once this traffic gets out the way, you can see here the white Kia involved in all of this, badly damaged the front end of it, especially, as well as airbags blown out here, with Cary police having one lane here blocked off on Apex Peakway, again at the intersection of North Salem Street. So let's back up and tell you, how did we get here? Well, according to Cary police, they're telling us that they first got a call around 2:45 this morning about reported break-ins on Ansley Stream Lane. About 4 cars were broken into in that area, and as they were heading there, they spotted 2 vehicles involved in the break-ins, both Kias that we know of, including this one, that was also later confirmed stolen. So as officers attempted to stop the Kias, that's when they continued to drive off, leading up to a crash here. Now the crash and the people who were involved in the crash here, they are okay, and the 2 juveniles were taken into custody here. Then the third crash happened near Crossroads Shopping Center. That's actually about 13 minutes away from this area, and that's because the third suspect drove off, taking a completely different route, driving into Cary on US 1 and then exiting onto Walnut Street, and then they later crashed inside the Crossroads Shopping Center near Olive Garden. So that suspect also was taken into custody at that scene. As far as the people involved in the crashes, everyone is okay physically. Now the investigation is underway. We know that all, again, suspects involved in the investigation are juveniles under the age of 17. We're talking about teenagers involved in this. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Cary.
A busy morning for law enforcement. Thank you, Laura. A man was arrested for burning an American flag in front of the White House, and that was just after President Donald Trump signed an executive order calling for harsher restrictions for flag burning. Jay Carey identified himself as a 20-year combat veteran. He says he lit the flag on fire in protest of the president. Park police say that it is illegal to light a fire on land controlled by the National Park Service, except in designated areas. Secret Service officers arrested him and then put out the fire.
President Trump is calling on the Attorney General to prosecute people accused of burning the flag. He also wants immigrants who've been accused of it to be removed from the country. President Trump says a new order will also come with jail time for people convicted.
The penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot.
In 1989, the Supreme Court ruled flag burning is a protected form of free speech. The president has asked the Justice Department to pursue legal action to clarify the scope of the First Amendment on this issue.
And President Donald Trump says he fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Now, this is the first time this has happened in the 111-year history of the central bank. This is part of ongoing tensions between the president and the Federal Reserve. President Trump says it is taking too long for interest rates to come down, and he is accusing Cook of mortgage fraud. Now, she has not been charged. She says that the president does not have the authority to fire her, and so she does not plan to resign.
Tense moments at the site of a Pulse nightclub memorial in Orlando, Florida. The bomb squad was called in for a package that was deemed suspicious. It was discovered to be a box of chalk. The crosswalk was previously painted in rainbow colors to honor the 49 people killed in the mass shooting in 2016. Over the last week, it has been the site of a back and forth between demonstrators and officials after the colors were removed. People have been using chalk to color it back in.
Cracker Barrel is responding to backlash over the redesign of its logo. It says it could have done a better job. The restaurant chain unveiled a new logo that removed the man who is believed to be the uncle of the founder. And what you see on the right is the new logo. The company's stock dropped more than 12% in a day after this. The company posted a response online saying that Uncle Herschel will still be found on the menu, the road signs, even the country store.
Work is happening now on Raleigh's latest affordable housing project. 18 homes will go up near downtown Raleigh in the Idlewild community. It is Raleigh's first permanently affordable cottage court. NC Central head basketball coach Lavelle Moten grew up in Idlewild. Idlewild was the first place in Raleigh where formerly enslaved people could own land. Project organizers say the development will honor that history and address the city's housing needs. It is 6:18 on your Tuesday morning, and we have some really nice weather out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It does not feel like August at all, and that's a great thing.
It is a great thing. This August hasn't felt like August really all month. We've only had one day in the 90s. Highly, highly unusual. Right now, we're looking at Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, and Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. We do have a good bit of cloud cover out there currently, but as we head through the day, we'll see more and more sunshine. It's going to be a real pretty day for us. Our temperatures much cooler than yesterday. Officially, our high was in the upper 80s in the Triangle yesterday. We're looking at low 80s today, so a nice drop. 70s for Durham, Roxborough, and South Hill. Mid 80s, though, in Fayetteville and Clinton. Our cooler air is filtering in from the north, so it may take a little time for it to settle in into some of our southern counties, so that's why they'll be a little bit warmer. Our cold front has shifted offshore, and of course, that opens the door to some air visiting us from Canada. So lower humidity, cooler temperatures. It should feel very pleasant for it today. Now, how long will that last? All the way into the weekend, and most likely at least through Labor Day. 79 degrees for tomorrow, and then after that we're in the low 80s. Our overnight lows may be what you notice most of all. You step out the door this morning, in most places it feels a lot cooler, but look at this. Wednesday at 60 degrees, and then for Thursday 58. So I'm probably going to be grabbing a jacket. You might have to send your kids out with a jacket too, especially if they're heading out the door in their shorts and t-shirts. Our average temperature for August, which really just never arrived, which is great, we're not complaining by any means, was around 75 degrees. That's the coolest August since 2014. And when we talk about that average, it's an average of all the temperatures, including the highs and the lows. How about rainfall? It still looks dry for much of this week. There's a small chance of some rain Thursday night into Friday, but it looks isolated at best. And we're doing fine with rain. Our drought status completely clear. No abnormally dry conditions anywhere. So we'll take it. Checking, of course, our forecast going forward all the way into the holiday weekend. Our temperatures are nice and comfortable, and our skies are going to be mainly clear, minus maybe Friday morning.
Thank goodness for that. Yeah, a lot of grilling outside this weekend, so perfect weather for that. Let's get you into downtown Raleigh here, Dawson and Edenton Street. So this is a couple blocks away from areas like Press and the Flying Saucer. There's a crash there that might cause some delays, especially as that is coming southbound into downtown Raleigh, connecting from Capitol Boulevard. So we'll keep a close eye on that. I-40 at South Saunders Street. There you see exit 298. Everything's looking pretty good. Nice sunrise underway as well. So everything is smoothly sailing on all our main routes. In terms of delay times, just 1 minute delay coming in on I-87 from Knightdale. We've got you covered every step of the way for your Tuesday morning commute. You can listen to us on the go, 101.5 HD3.
Your time is 6:21. Scholarship scams. If you're looking to help pay for college, do not fall for the phony offers. 5 on your side shows you what to look out for so you can protect your money.
And town logo battle. Garner is considering several new designs. The final steps that lie ahead before the big reveal.
And if you see breaking news, maybe you have a story tip, even video or pictures of severe weather where you are, please report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your videos, your pictures, and tip to our news team.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Celebrating dogs and Netflix stores.
Let's take a look at what's trending this morning. Netflix has announced the launch date for its brick-and-mortar stores. The first Netflix house will open in Philadelphia. That'll be on November 12th. Another one in Dallas on December 11th. And the stores will feature merchandise, food, and games tied to some of its biggest shows. Tickets will be required to participate in the TV-themed activities. I'm sure a lot of people want to get that Netflix swag, especially Squid Game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is a chance for you to, that Netflix story you can't get enough of, it becomes real. And then Netflix Bites. They have a whole restaurant tied
theme.
to, dishes with your favorite shows. Awesome concept.
Can't get
Today
enough.
is National Dog Day. It's a perfect day to treat your furry friend to an extra walk, grooming, or extra treats. You can go through a fast food drive-thru to get a pup cup or a dog treat for your pet. I know Cha-Cha would love that.
She does, and usually have to give her a treat in the morning because if I leave and she knows I'm leaving, she will start barking at the door. I will be home, sweetheart, I promise. So all month long, we're helping area animals find forever homes during our Clear the Shelters adoption event, including dogs. Hint, hint, wink, wink, adopt one. There are plenty of animals in need of a forever home at Person County Animal Services in Roxborough. And to learn more about this and other participating local shelters, go to WRAL.com/shelters. Your time to 6:26. Car underwater. A person was sent to the hospital after a police chase ended with a car going into the Wake Forest Reservoir. How teams plan to get that car out this morning.
And school lunch changes. Changes to federal food assistance could force students off of free meal programs in Wake County schools. What parents will need to do to make sure that doesn't happen.
And the cooler air has arrived. You can see the blue shaded area covering so much of the country. I'll show you what that will feel like for us right here.